What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Russia, China, and North Korea are meeting together as we're maybe seeing a World War II type of situation, the Axis versus the Allies, as they're now, I don't know, maybe forming a team. Let me show you here. Yeah, North Korean leader Kim Jong un meets with Russian defense minister to discuss military cooperation. Um, yeah, you guys can let me know your thoughts on this. This is starting to get more than a little scary. Yeah, so we got Russia, China, and North Korea here meeting together, basically showing um, banned missiles in some cases here, looking for further military cooperation. And the rest of the world, especially NATO, is growing more and more concerned, especially with all three of these being nuclear powers. Also of concern here is China alone is at least 4 times the population of the United States. Yeah, North Korean leader Kim Jong un met with Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu to discuss military issues and the regional security environment. State media said Thursday, illustrating Pyongyang's support for Russia's war in Ukraine. As the isolated country celebrated the 70th anniversary of an armistice that halted fighting in the 1950 to 53 Korean War. So you can see North Korea says, yes, we support Russia in this war. North Korean festivities were to be highlighted by a military parade Thursday night in the capital, where Kim, possibly in presence of Shoigu and visiting Chinese ruling party official, could showcase his most powerful nuclear capable missiles designed to threaten neighboring rivals and the United States. North Korea has been aligning with Russia over the war in Ukraine, insisting that the hegemonic policy of the US led West forced Moscow to take military action to protect its security interests. The Biden administration has accused North Korea of providing arms, just like we have seen China doing this, if you watched my previous video, to Russia to aid its fighting in Ukraine, although North Korea has denied this claim. So now we're seeing even closer steps to war, a World War III type of situation now with China, Russia, and North Korea all potentially teaming up on the same team. And you can kind of see it brewing. You can kind of see the writing on the wall. They're all aligning against the United States and NATO, very similar to what happened in World War II, the Axis and the Allies. Can let me know your thoughts here, but it's a little bit concerning to say the least. China alone has like 1.5 billion people. The United States has somewhere around 330 million people. We're also seeing tensions here as NATO will step up security in the Black Sea region after Russia declares parts of it unsafe for shipping and says that any ships going in or out of the Black Sea would be considered military targets and could be fired on. Whether they're military ships or not, we will see what happens here. Putin is saying, and he's, quote, promising no cost Russian grain shipments to 6 African countries, saying that his nation is making every effort to avert a global food crisis despite his concerns from a withdrawal from a deal allowing grain shipments from Ukraine that will cause global prices to spike on wheat and grain that will affect the entire world. We're already seeing these prices spike that will cause food prices to spike on pretty much anything that has wheat or grain in it around the world. Even though Putin did this, he says, on the contrary, our country will continue supporting needy states and regions, in particular, with its humanitarian deliveries. I know it sounds hypocritical, right? We seek to actively participate in building a fairer system of distribution of resources. We are taking maximum efforts to avert a global food crisis. Um, yeah, are you buying that? I have already said that our country can replace Ukrainian grain, both on a commercial basis as a grant aid to the neediest African countries, more so since we expect another record harvest this year. Russia says they intend to ship up to 50,000 tons of grain to Burkina Faso, Zimbabwe, Mali, Somalia, Eritrea, and the Central African Republic in the next 3 to 4 months. Even if that happens, what about all the other countries and even the poor people here in the United States? Remember that there's millions of people that live in poverty, at least by US standards. And remember that grain, wheat, bread, all these different things will now be seeing a price spike. Remember that, these type of things are basically controlled on a global basis. And we're already seeing prices for these items go up. Just like gas, just like oil, a lot of these food are controlled kind of on a price global basis wide because supply and demand. I'll link you to a video I just did on this, which explains what's going on in addition to rice because of what's going on in India. It's also interesting to note here what I also seen here. Russian inflation is raising at 60%, not the reported 3.6%, thanks to the ruble's free fall. Top economist Steve Hanke says. I did a lookup on the ruble, Russian ruble, and this is a 1 year chart. And you can see that the Russian ruble has fallen pretty dramatically on a 1 year chart here. One Russian ruble equals about 1 penny, 0.011 US dollar. So 0.011. Last September, it was a high of 0.017. Now it's 0.011. So that is a drop of, what is that, about 40%? Yes, I mean, that is a lot. You can see the chart right here. I don't think I was in the corner there, but that is a pretty dramatic drop of their currency. So if you think inflation's bad here, inflation in Russia and even Europe is higher in most of Europe. The annual inflation in May was 7.1%, down from 8.1%. A year earlier was 8.8%. There are a few countries that are a little bit lower. Annual inflation in the Euro area is averaging 6.1% right now. So most of Europe does have much higher inflation than the United States right now on average. Not that inflation is good by any means here in the United States, but at least there's the info for you. I'm all about numbers and at least seeing what is going on everywhere else. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything happening around the world that you need to know about here on a daily basis. So if you haven't yet, Click the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, thanks for hitting the like button for us, and please share these videos so other people can see this. It also helps out our YouTube channel grow. Click here to see a massive announcement made for millions of Americans, or they're saying this is an act of war and the US must respond. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.